Okay, so right now I see you and me, no problem. There we go. Now it's working. At least it looks like it is working, so we'll have to see. If anybody's able to see the video now, let me know. Because now it's actually showing what it's supposed to be showing. I like that. We actually ended up in a little vortex where we were talking to ourselves. That was actually kind of fun.
I talk to myself all the time.
The legendary adventure bike is back.
Apparently.
Ended up in a
Wow,
little
you
vortex
did a
where we were
commercial?
talking to ourselves. That was actually kind of fun.
You can mute that now.
I talk to
Yeah, I can
myself
hear you.
all the time. Legendary adventure bike is back.
All right,
Ended up in a little vortex where we were talking to ourselves. That was actually kind of fun.
trying to get rid of it.
I was going to say, you can turn it off.
I'm working on it.
All right. Big Scott, good evening. Absolutely. Baz, good evening. Jeff, yep. I'll be honest with you, Jeff. You know what's funny? We were actually talking for like 3 minutes and it looked like it was on, but I didn't see anybody. I saw people were waiting and I'm like, why can't I see that in the little corner on the StreamYard? That was kind of weird. Mind you, I think it was a problem with my internet. I was flipping between one connection and another, and I think that was the problem. I thought I hit the button. We were live, but we weren't live. A bit weird. But anyway, whatever. It's okay. So anyway, so Eric, so we just finished talking about that you're old.
Yeah, we were just talking about how old I am. I just got back from a high school graduation. A family friend. I watched this young kid grow up. He's been in school with my daughter for all these years. He's a grade ahead, but whatever. And just to see this kid go from knee high all the way up to 18 and graduate in high school, it's just, oh my God, I am old.
So hashtag you're old.
Yeah, hashtag I'm old.
Yep. Good evening, name. Absolutely.
Yeah, I just want to say, for the record, obviously in real life, I love Name. Name's great. He's the man.
But he should open his window and let the children go out.
Nothing but love for him in real life. But as far as I'm concerned for the show, you're a jackass. You're a jackass. I cannot believe you didn't get that text until like 2:30 in the morning.
Well, no, he was ignoring it. I literally replied to him in text prior to that.
No, you're a jackass.
Yep. So, Name, listen, we know we got to think kids, all that. We get it, we understand. But like, look, at a certain point, the kids are old enough. If they're like more than 3 days old, open the window and let them go out. Let them wander the wilderness. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Nature will take its course. They'll be good.
That's right.
Absolutely. So Josh, glad to have a live stream on Saturday night. Yeah. No, Eric was chatting to me about that after the last one. And I wasn't opposed to it. Like, I'm here. Saturday at the Expo finishes a little bit more reasonably. So it was enough time to be able to go, have dinner, chat for a while, and be able to still come back at a reasonable time and be able to do this. I gave it a little extra time, a buffer, just so that we could chat a little bit beforehand and get everything set up. And I was able to, I did get some stuff, so I'll make a video about it separately, and I'll show some of the stuff off now so we can talk about it a little bit. Saturday was kind of interesting, though. Obviously, after last night and some other stuff I was working on, channel-wise and everything else, I got to bed really super late. So I was like, okay, I'm going to sleep in, I'm going to relax, I'm going to casually come in. So it was a shorter day for me, but we went straight to production, because I knew kind of where everything was. So I was able to go run straight over to the tables and start making a deal. But I'll give you this one, because this is the majority of this stack. I put it on my Instagram. These are all 63 Fleer baseball cards. PSA graded, the whole lot of them. And I was able to put together a quick deal with this because I knew they had it on the table, and I was going to try to work out a bulk deal with them. The majority of them have a $15 sticker on them like this. They're all 6s and 7s, the whole lot of them. A whole stack. There's a $40 Orlando Cepeda in here, but everything else is $15, $15. So what we did is I piled up a whole stack of them, and I said, okay, what do you want to do? So the pile worked out to, I think, what was it? I think it was $15 cards, and then the $40 one, I believe, if my math was right. And I think it worked out to $265. $265 sticker price is what we came out to. So I said, okay, what do you want to do? And they said, I want to do $250. And I go, I was thinking $240. And they say, well, $245. And I'm like, you really hung up on $5, really? And at that point, when they do that, I'm like, for whatever reason, at this show, the move every time has been, whenever you get anything like that, okay, look, I'll give you a little bit more than what you asked for, but throw in that. So like, you know how I mentioned last night that I did the blaster thing? I said, okay, look, he asked for $245. I'll give you $250. throw in another one of the $15 ones. I'll grab one off that pile, throw it in, and we'll do 250. The gears went, steam came off, and then eventually it was like, oh, sure. It works out to less than $15 a card, and there's a $40 card in there as well.
Nice.
So the math works out in my favor. I still got less than sticker on the whole lot of them, including the $40 one. So in all, I've got now 24 out of the 67 cards, including this big old stack, all for these PSA set registry. So there you go. I'm approaching halfway. So pretty good. Can't complain. But it helps that I was scouting that out prior to. So that was a big chunk. That was one specific deal that I was able to get done really quickly. So happy to see you guys too. Even you, Eric. Nice. Neo, absolutely. Toronto vibes. So today was definitely people led with, are you willing to trade and do you want to buy? That was a lot of the things I was observing, a lot of the dealer tables. People were willing to spend cash, but a lot of them were reluctant to spend a lot of cash. They wanted to run straight to a lot of those things. And I was chatting up some of the dealers to try to get that sense, just to see. So that was a big part of it. So we'll have to see what that looks like. But yeah, we'll have to see what that ends up looking like. I'm not surprised. And then I'm wondering, though, whether that's going to carry over to Sunday, because now there's a bunch of dealers that are sitting on inventory. And if they weren't priced correctly in the first place, they're pretty much going to be, unless you want to cart all that shit home. That's going to be really fun for you. Good luck. Let me know how that turns out. So we'll see. I think some of them were a little too aggressive. The dealers, they were able to price accordingly, though. I will say Steve and a couple of the other guys that I know, they walked away with a stack of cash. They had no problem. There were some big deals made because towards the end of the day, some dealers were walking around just buying stuff, stacks of stuff. So it's like, boom, done. Easy. Big money. Let's see some cards. Yeah, I'll show off some of this stuff, and then I've got some other stuff here as well. So we'll do that in a second. Hey, Carlos and everyone. Absolutely. Good evening, 357. Did you finish the Dusty Wax table? I was by it a couple of times. I think the owner kind of like takes time off. Like, I think he just doesn't want to be there. It's like, dude, how are you going to sell this if the other guys can't sell it and you're not around? Like, what do you want me to do here? Help me out. JD66 had a short video showing pickups. Said there were several 50% off dealers. You showed some nice pickups from the show. I have no doubt it. Probably. Air looks is reasonably together tonight. Did he have to go to church today or community service? Yes. Yes. The parole officer was clear on this. Anyway, dealers
high school graduation party, but thank you.
Yep. Dealers at my local show still overpriced, not willing to move. Heard of a lot of it minute for more. Still haven't found a good, I don't get a fucking response to that one. Yep. Yep. If people bring us stuff to the table, I have no problem trading. And yes, and that was the thing. Like, if people were willing to do it, if people were actually willing to like seriously do deals, even towards the end, I was talking to a couple of guys, and I had not moved this. I had a box of cards that I could potentially do a deal with if I wanted to. I was chatting with a couple of them towards the tail end, and then I was chatting with them with what they were looking for, and a couple of things like, oh, I'd like to have some of this. It's like, well, I have a couple of those in the box if you want to look at them later. So we at least talked about it a little bit. I was able to lay the groundwork, and maybe I'll do a deal with that on Sunday. But like I said, for me, since there's been no urgency for me, it's like, yeah, I'm willing to do a deal if you guys want to do something. That'd be great. But if it's not the price that I'm happy with, it's like, I don't mind. I can take the stuff back with me. But we'll see. I might be able to do something with it. So quickly, I'll jet through a couple of these ones. These are all 63 Fleers, all PSA, all 6s and 7s predominantly. So Johnny Callison, if you know the Philadelphia Phillies. So that's a 6. Ron Hansen, 6. Lou Clinton, 6. I'm just going to zip through them quick. I'm not even going to try to name this one. 6. So these are all the ones that came in the cookies, low sugar cookies back in the day. When they tried to beat the Topps Monopoly. So that's a PSA 7, old holder. Then we got a stack of those, so I'll quickly go through these ones. 6. 6. 6. So the average 7. So it's a good mid tier, like mid to higher tier 7. Smokey Burgess. If you like Pittsburgh Pirates. The advantage of that is it keeps the average grade on a lot of these pretty good. Here's one for Yannick. Roy Face of the Pirates. So he actually collects a lot of the Roy Face. So there's a 7. 6, Vernon Law. Pirates. 7, Gene Oliver. And then I got some more modern hockey in a second. I got that as well. Bill White. There's another 7. And Orlando Cepeda. So this was the $40 one, quote unquote, but it ended up at the average under 15 like everybody else. So 6 for that one. So there were a couple of dealers that had a couple of those a little more expensive. I didn't grab any of the star guys because I already had them. And then one more here, Jimmy Davenport, 6. So all 6s and 7s, a whole lot of them. The grading costs more than that, so it's like I'm not gonna complain about it. It's fine. All right, so still cannot believe the Seahawks didn't run try to move the ball. Thank you, Duncaccino. Love it. Josh Backham, who was the big rookie that year. I'm trying to think. It wasn't a rookie, but Maury Wills had an MVP card, and he didn't have a card in Topps for a couple more years after that, so that was a big one. I know they had a nice Sandy Koufax and a couple other players. I'm trying to remember if there was a rookie. There's a short print. I think it's Lou Boudreau. There's one that's a short print. The name escapes me. But there's a short print one. There's a couple of them there. The checklist is a little bit tough. I don't remember if there's a major rookie, though, for that 63 one. But it's kind of a fun one. I just like the fact it's not a Topps. It was that weird little... They actually managed to get current players of that time period in the set. And that's what they were trying to do to break the monopoly briefly before they got slapped down for that. Did Eric have a card show at the bowling alley today? But it looks like we got to roll a couple frames. Love the bowling alley. They love you, Eric. Come on.
Just some of this stuff is hysterical.
Yep, nice flares.
Again, I just got home from a high school graduation party from a family friend.
At the bowling alley.
Yeah, at the bowling alley.
Yes. So yeah.
Oh my God.
So that was the first deal I got done right off the top. It was an easy deal, though. It was funny because since I'd already been by that booth enough times, I was like, that's an easy deal to make. It's like, just give me a price I'm happy with and we're good. It's not a big deal. So we'll have to see. So the other one that I took care of was all at one booth. Picked up a Jade Ottinger, so one of those Synergy ones. $5. Mario and Medano, dual jersey. Total, $20. Easy. No problem there. Let me take care of this. Beautiful. Just clearing that up. This was okay. Dual autograph. Jason Arnott and Medano. So we got the Sign of the Times dual. Picked that up off a table.
That's nice.
Yep. Took care of all that pretty quick. This was actually a duplicate, but this is one where I may just move the other copy. Upper Deck Cup. This was the last thing I took care of like 5 minutes from the close of the show. Patch auto out of 75. The cup, can't complain. It was already a good price. Talked it down another 20%. Fine, I'll take it.
What part of the patch is black and white?
So it's mostly about darkness. So you got to remember the lighting here that I've got makes it more difficult. It's actually like a really dark green. So it's the dark green and the gold. And there's like a sliver of the gold right at the edge.
Okay.
So it's a little hard to see, but it's the lighting issue.
Yeah, that's black and white.
Yeah. No, that's what it's going to come out to. Like
sitting.
right now, where I'm at with the lighting issue I've got here, you're not going to be able to see it very clearly. It's going to be kind of tricky to see. But a good deal for what it is. So can't complain about that. Not a ton of cards, but it happens. Yep, take the compliment. Cheaper than Tinder. Feels worth it spamming us. Yep, exactly.
Hey, if you can get a discount.
That's right. Yeah, there was no big rookie. Nice Clemente, Koufax, and Mays. That's right. Yep, exactly. I've got the Mays. Clemente I was looking, but the prices weren't to my liking, and the Koufax is another one I got to look for. The other thing that's sometimes an issue with those is centering. Centering is another one with the 63s. Some of these are a little bit off, but for the most part, they're okay. That's why I say, like, they're already graded, clean copies, can't complain. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. So right now, my average grade on almost half the set is about a 6. That's my average grade, a little over 6. That's not bad.
The 6 for vintage is really good, especially if it was in a cookie box.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. What they did at the time is was cookie, but it was apparently such a low sugar cookie. And they did low sugar because they were trying to avoid the monopoly on candy. So what they said is like, oh, this isn't candy, it's a cookie. But it's a cookie that's really low sugar. So it's not candy. And it's like, so you mean basically like a blob of dough that is almost tasteless? That's what you're... Why don't you just sell the damn cards? Just sell the cards.
Yeah, right.
They couldn't put gum with it. So they said like, we'll do a low sugar cookie. That'll fool them. So just to be clear, there's only one series for a reason. It didn't work.
Right.
So that's why the checklist, the way it is because the idea was there were supposed to be more series. There should have been. That's why there's no Mantle. There's no 63 Fleer Mantle. Because theoretically, that would have been a subsequent series. But you do have Mays, you do have Clemente, you do have Koufax. You've got some great ones. You got some good players in there, but that's why you didn't get Mantle or Hank Aaron or a couple other guys. Otherwise, they would have been available maybe into Series 2. It happens. Yep, diabetic cookie. As we get older, we need them. There you go, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll say business was brisk in terms of people physically moving around. There was definitely a lot of people. I did check in with Brad. They still had pretty brisk business. Lots of people were submitting stuff still. I think they're going to be good as far as that's concerned. It's going to turn out to be a good show for them. For some of the dealers, if they made their money already, they're fine. The increase in the table cost is going to end up being a big problem with some of those guys, because if they didn't make enough money, that's going to be a problem. Foot traffic compared to other shows. So the Friday one was tough to gauge. I think based on what Bobby said, Friday seemed to be on par with previous Fridays because obviously when we introduced the Thursday, that threw things off. That changed the dynamic a little bit because that was the VIP night. VIP night was very sparse, very slow. Friday was comparable to normal. Saturday, I felt like was good compared to normal. I think what hurt was not the foot traffic. I think what hurt was that people were reluctant to spend cash money, and they were going for the trade. They were going for the trade, trade cash or just trade or a variety of that. I think the foot traffic was on par. I was able to do a little time lapse for a video that I'm going to have. I'll set it up once I've got it. So I've got the time lapse recorded. And I took it at my buddy's table who has some pretty premium stuff, really good stuff. So what I did is I angled it out so you could look down the aisleway and watch traffic, people coming and going towards the table and hanging out. And you'll get at least a little bit of a sense of a snippet. It'll probably be like a 1 minute time lapse, but that was equivalent to an hour of movement at the table. So so that's basically what they're looking for. So it'll give at least a little bit of a sense of people moving up and down and hanging out at the table, at least a table that had pretty good activity with it. Do they release daily attendance figures? Generally, no. Honestly, no. However, that isn't to say we can't get it. And there's a steak dinner at stake. Bobby and Brad have a steak dinner in terms of figuring out if it was better than the last show. So we'll have to see how that one turns out. I don't think we're going to get the exact attendance figures, although I have heard a figure from the last one.
Is there any way we can start calling Brad he who shall not be named? Because
you can call him he who shall not be named.
Because I still hate him, and
but in fairness, you hate a lot of people.
Yes, but he has scorned me.
Deservedly so, though.
That's here nor there. Okay, I feel scorned since he was 10 minutes from my house, in my place of employment, and did not notify me in any way, and then ran back over the border. And I've yet to forgive him for this scorn, and I don't feel as if we should say his name on the show.
I think you can pretend we don't say his name on the show.
I think we should say he who shall not be named.
Fair enough. He who shall not be named, Brad, is the guy that
you did it wrong.
No, I'm pretty sure I got it right. I nailed it. I nailed it in the first try. It was beautiful. So we'll have to see. I think what we will know is who ends up winning the steak dinner. That's what's going to be very interesting. We'll have to see how that one plays out. So if people are spending cash, they want deals. I think there were some dealers who were able, especially at the end of the day, because I'll say I caught the tail end of it at my buddy's table, because like I said, he's got pretty good high-end stuff. A couple of other dealers came by and offered to buy big bulk lots, and obviously that was cash. So that was a situation where they built up a stack, did some addition, and it was a good sized deal. We'll put it that way. Y'all can figure out what that equivalent, 5 figures. Y'all can figure out what that is, and it was cash. So they built the stack, handed the cash over. For him, good. Like for him, it was a good solid deal. Not that your mileage may vary if you're one of the other dealers though. If you don't have that kind of equivalent stuff to be able to make that kind of a big bulk deal, you're not going to get quite that advantage. So he's a more unique case. I look at him as an outlier. I don't consider him the norm. But if you have that kind of material, you're able to move it. Everybody else kind of had to work around the whole trade sale, trade cash kind of thing. Also, tonight we do have a trade night, and that's an angle I don't have an answer to. I'm not at it, and I'm not going to, and I was never going to visit it, but I will. I do know a couple
folks. Where is it located? I'm just curious.
I'm not sure. I know Tim mentioned it, so I'm going to try to reach out a little later and get a little bit more information. I heard about it, and I knew they advertised it a little bit,
Restaurant, hotel, parking lot.
I feel like it's going to be either hotel or at the center itself. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Like it's going to be one of those two. It's going to be nearby hotel or the International Center.
Okay.
But I will talk to some folks that I think are attending it or have attended it, and I want to see. I don't know. So for me, it's not. For me, it was never a thing. Is Neil says the first lap around the shows to get the lay of land, rather than running around with chicken with his head cut off? Yep. Eric needs a top 10 list of people I hate. Facts. Eric has been scourged and Skidder. He wore the scarlet letter. B for bougie. Facts. Yep. Eric would hate Boston then. Hates all the other important B's. Brad and Beckett. Nice. Nice. Love it. Okay. So here we go. Joe Adcock was the short print. Yes. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. Yep. Scorned. He doesn't hate B bougie. That's fact. You skip trade night. Those are the best. Yes, Neo. For you, those are the best. I'm not there to wheel and deal with a lot of the cards. I really don't care enough. So for me, the trade night, and honestly, I don't think the trade night is going to match up to like the Dallas trade night and a lot of those other ones. That's usually not been the way because trade nights are newer here. That's never been really something that's taken off. They have done it the last couple of shows, and I think they're trying to, make it a thing, but it's never been a thing previously. So I'll be curious to see what that looks like down the road. So we'll have to see. More than anything, I'm just after a couple of days, I'm tired, and I just wasn't interested. In attending. Make Eric a mod to clean up chat. Well, he'll just clean up anybody he doesn't like.
I'll wipe all you people out.
That's what I mean. Like everybody who calls him bougie, done.
Gone. As soon as Bob shows up, gone.
Done. Yep, you can buy a trade as you. I know that. I will say though, don't forget. It isn't necessarily the same as what you're used to on this side. I will talk to some folks, so I'm curious to see what that looks like for them, and we'll have to see if they were able to make any deals with it. I'll be curious to see if it caught over. Any non-sports that caught your eye or surprised you? Caught my eye. No. Surprised me. Okay, there was one that I caught towards the latter portion of today. I've been looking the Marvel and all that a little bit, a sprinkling of it here and there. Not surprising, but nothing that caught my eye too much. I caught some wrestling stuff as well. Not surprising, but a little bit sprinkled here and there. You know what I saw? I saw the Swanson WWF ones. And I was looking at I was seriously at a booth and I was looking at it. I was like, Macho Man and $1 Million Man, huh? Like I was looking at it. I was like, interesting. I was like, not right now. I'll come back. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I will go there, but not today. But I thought about it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought about it. So we'll have to see. Let me see here. Man, the spam bots are crazy today. What the heck? So let me go here. Let me just see here if I'm able to clear all that. Let's see. Yeah, I'll take a look again. Yeah, NBA plays one day and then 4 days off, and NHL plays every other day. Good to know. I was paying too much attention to that. Swanson TV dinners, that's right. Exactly. Okay, let me do this. There. Perfect. Let's see. Notice a lot of low-end non-alt sports stuff. People act like they threw junk in and it will sell. Yes, I agree with that. See any real standout baseball pre-World War II at the show? Not a lot. I did see a Ramsey. If you're familiar with it, it's kind of a gold-bordered thing. I did see one of those. I hadn't seen one in a while at the show. Tobacco, T206s are definitely there. T205s, the standard that you would expect. A couple magazine cards. Bobby did mention there was like a Babe Ruth rookie with a blank back that I'm kind of curious about. I don't know if that's right, but I'm curious. But he did send me a picture of it. I'll see if I can actually share the screen with it. I'd love to show it to you, but let me see if I actually can. So maybe I can here. Let's see. So Eric, you'll have to let me know if you're able to see it on the screen. I'll try sharing it and let me know if it comes up. So we'll see here. Let me try. So this was the picture that I was sent, and I'll see if I can share it with you guys. Can you see that there?
Oh yeah. Yep.
So that's the front of it. Obviously, that looks like the Ruth. So that would be the Ruth rookie. I forget what the exact numbering is. It's a magazine card, so it's got the M designation. But the back is blank. So it's kind of different. It's a little bit weird. So I don't know what the deal is with that. It could just be somebody messing around with something, or it could be something odd about it. But it is interesting. It's one of those things. Like you'll see stuff like that once in a blue moon, but it's a little unusual. Nothing crazy standout though. A lot of 50s baseball, a lot of vintage hockey, of course. But no, nothing too crazy. I will say, in terms of more interesting or extraordinary stuff, I really think it was pretty straightforward, pretty generic by regular standards. It wasn't. I didn't think anything crazy. Porn bots love the Toronto show. Facts. Facts. Did you buy the great curator's Hogan PMG? We're still in negotiations. He refuses to accept my Doge. We're trying to find an appropriate number. I'm willing to give him at least 50 Doge for it.
Have you thought about giving him maybe like one of those hand turkeys? Like make him a hand turkey for it?
Are you saying in addition to the 50 Doge? Or separate from the 50 Doge?
Separate. I mean, that'd be overpaying a hand turkey and 50 Doge. I mean, come on.
But the question I have is, if I gave him a hand turkey and 50 Doge, would that be a new record via card ladder?
Oh, it would definitely. No question about it.
Interesting. I like where your head's at.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yep.
I like what you're thinking. Avalanche 3, Oilers 0. You know, I'm thinking the Oilers should learn to play defense. I think defense might be a good idea for them. Just throwing it out there.
No, would you like me to explain to you?
Defense?
Let me explain to you and everyone else who might be listening why the Oilers are in this 3-0 hole. And it's very simple. And it is because Name is rooting for them. Okay? If Name would stop rooting for the Oilers, they would instantly improve.
But he was supporting them from day one. I don't think you understand.
And
I've read the social media posts. He was supporting them from day one.
And he has and he has basically ruined that team with his support. And until he backs off, stops harassing, Draisaitl and McDavid in the middle of the night, calling them up on their private line saying, "I love you. You're so awesome." They're like, "I need some sleep for tomorrow." And he's like, "I know, I love you, please." And these guys are tired. They're being bothered constantly by him, and it's his fault. So if you are an Oilers fan, please send all hate mail to Indigenous Rookie Cards.
Nice. I think that's fair. That is another angle. You can't take on that. So here, 357. Does LeBron's personal wealth of becoming a billionaire impact the theme park prices? Chad's right. Only if LeBron buys his own cards. Facts. Come on, Eric. Where's your boy Leon? True. Well, it's time to start cheering for all Boston teams. He's threatening you. He's threatening you right now. Be careful what you say next. That is dangerous. That is very dangerous.
Dare.
Yep.
See, that's how much he hates me. He's horrible. And I'm not even going to get into thou who shall not be named.
Interesting.
Who's off posting things in the comments now.
Hashtag ghost. The man speaks truth. I don't know. Understand what you want. The he who shall not be named, Brad.
No, you said it wrong again.
Which part?
The ending part. We don't say his name anymore.
What was the ending part?
You know the ending part.
Named?
I don't want to talk about him either.
Yep, exactly. That's kind of what I thought. Yeah, I think I was trying very much to get a gauge of like in line with a lot of the questions. I was trying to get a gauge for how to compare this to the last one. And the problem that I've been having with it is because they used the different hall and completely redid the configuration. I'm like, I don't even know. And they shuffled people around because there were certain sections, and I'll tell you, this is something that may come up in some vlogs with it, and it's going to throw people off. There are certain aisles where they put some of the higher volume sellers who do higher end stuff kind of together, which is going to draw more traffic. So like those aisles are going to be super packed and busy, and it kind of pushes the other aisles and makes them a little quieter. But if you're willing to go over there, there's other stuff going on in those other aisles. But it's going to be quieter automatically by default because you shuffled people into a handful of aisles that have the better stuff, right? So it completely messes the whole thing up. So it's like, okay, so is it busy or is it not busy? If you go in this aisle, it's swamped. If you go in this other aisle, it's okay. In this other aisle, it's a ghost town. It's the same show. So what's the answer to your question? That's the thing. I don't know. So we'll have to see. Yeah, just call him B-Rad. Yep. Exactly. Love it. That's right. The green show bracelet looks like the electronic ankle bracelet Eric has to wear through 2024. Only 2024? Are you sure? Only? You think they're going to let him take it off in 2024. That's great.
The funny part is, if you guys, I mean, many of you know that before I had to take a sabbatical for all sorts of family reasons, I worked with the courts here in Massachusetts, working with DUI cases. And I worked with first-time offenders, and I also worked with multiple offenders who had 2, 3, 4, 5 DUIs. And I could always tell just about how many DUIs they had as they walked in the door by looking at their ankles.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, see, you got a little bump in your sock there. What's this? Your third, fourth?
Nice.
I have a lot of experience with ankle bracelets.
Good to know. Refer back, everyone. Take notes. Refer back to that later on.
Yeah.
The jokes will come around again. That happens even at 50 to 100 table shows. Get 1 or 2 deals in close proximity with good showcases, traffic jam. Yeah, exactly. And there's been a lot of, like I said, the goal here is not to be too harsh and critique, because at the end of the day, we know that it takes a lot to organize it. But there's a lot to be desired. I think it's one of those things where I think they're going to need a bigger team to organize a lot of these shows, especially since they're now doing multiple shows within proximity of each other. They did the Edmonton show, and now they're doing the Toronto show. You got 500 tables. And again, this is the quieter time of the year. Summer is tougher. And because of that, you need a team. You got to make sure everybody's got showcases. You got to make sure all the signage and everything is abundantly clear. They still managed, honestly, as a visitor, it's been an okay show for me. And it's not quite done for me, obviously. We got Sunday a little bit. It's going to be quieter, though, for some folks for sure. But for me, it's finishing off business. I've already been able to lay the groundwork for a lot of stuff. So it's going to be, tomorrow is going to be I can walk straight to the people that I know have X, Y, Z. All right, guys, so as we were talking about yesterday, you want to finish the deal off on this? Oh, sure, blah, blah, blah. Done. I already laid the groundwork because I was in a hurry. So for me, it's easy. But I can understand as the dealer, this would be tremendously frustrating, because guess what? Most people don't follow up. Most people don't come back. They say, oh, I'll be back tomorrow, and they're not. Or I'll be back in an hour, and they're not. But if you are a person who does that, well, then you can pretty much set up your deal and then finish it off when it's more convenient for you. It depends on what you're buying, though, right?
Right. I mean, the real super, super high price stuff, they'll take back with them and to try to sell it another time, or online, or at an auction house. But Sunday is definitely the big day for deals, and you can get you can really knock off some prices if you catch them at the right time, especially as the show goes on. They have to lug all that stuff out and load up the trucks, and it is amazing how much stuff some of those dealers bring to this show. I mean, it's like they brought an entire store, and especially, some of these men and women might be a little bit older. It might be a little bit more work to lug all this stuff through the entire expo, out into the parking lot, into a truck. They want to move this stuff. And, Sunday noonish, you'll start finding the deals, because people are going to start wrapping up around 3:00. They'll start making the trips out to the parking lot with stuff. And if you had your eye on something all week, Sunday at noon is a good time to go over and drop what you want to pay on the table and say, that's what I want to pay. And it's a good chance you'll get it.
Yeah, I think it might even be a little earlier than that, because I think some of the folks, like I said, I think some folks have done well, and I think some folks have been a little bit frustrated with, like I said, the people coming to the tables. I will say today was the bigger day if you were Pelican case watching. Today was the bigger day. Today I definitely saw the Pelican cases. Today was the day. And my dream of making my fancy Pelican case is still in play. I might be working on a deal for that. We got to figure that out. So for been here. Sorry. Let me read Baz's here.
You're dead to me if you get one. I just want to let you know that.
Everybody's dead to you. It's fine. You'll come on the show and you'll like it just fine. I'll slap a logo on it and you'll praise it. We'll move on.
Okay.
How many tables in total at the show? So 500 is what they put on there. Remember how many tables they put on the brochure back in 95? I actually don't think it was that far off in terms of tables. So booths, dealers, and tables are three different metrics, right? So you got to kind of remember, be careful with that. 500 tables is what they got there, and I believe that. I think that's probably an accurate figure. Dealers probably is lower. I think some dealers had more tables than last time around to kind of make it up. The space has been mostly filled. There was a lot of that space filled, but there were some dead zones in there because it is Cottage Country Day, so it's kind of tough because we're now in the weather's been good, so it's like if you're out in Cottage Country, you're not coming in for a card show. It's just not that important. And over where it is, they call it the Toronto Card Show, but it's in Mississauga near the airport. Now, mind you, if you're flying in, it's great because you're right there. It's right nearby. But if you're somebody who's like around the area on the outside, not necessarily something you need to do. So Friedman, you know that you've made it when the porn bots are pumping your live chat. Congrats, Carlos and Lamaso and Chad. Porn bots and pumping. I see what you did there. Facts.
My mother might be watching. Stop it.
Listen, you can explain what the allegation is. That's on you.
You stop it.
I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just reading the comment. Ruth is a 1915 M1015. Thanks for sharing the photo. No problem, Dave. How was the foot traffic Thursday to Friday, Saturday? Thursday was relatively dead. It was a good day if you want to just chat and just do whatever. Friday was pretty solid. Saturday was definitely more, in my opinion, from what I saw. You did see an escalation from Friday to Saturday. Thursday, though, was a ghost town. And last time around, Thursday was actually pretty good. Like, we were holding court there. This time around, though, Thursday, ghost town. Relatively speaking, comparatively. And also more spaced out, the way the hall was set up. It felt like way less people because of the way they spaced it out. And also, I think there were less people physically in the building. Just total. So we definitely did feel that on the VIP night. It was very quiet, relatively speaking. Did the meat guy show up today? I didn't see him. I have no idea. I didn't catch him. I have no idea. I haven't seen him. I feel like I've crossed every aisle. So unless somehow I magically managed to miss him completely, I feel like I've passed every aisle a couple of times. I'm not sure.
Is he only a November meat guy?
I feel like he's been to both. I'll double check with Bobby. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I'm pretty sure he's been to both. So I don't know about that one. Tom here. Good evening, gentlemen and Carlos. But that's still plural. There's literally only two of us on the screen. Eric, you are not two people. Congratulations. I don't know. Has Yager been busy signing? He was signing. I don't know how busy he was. Do you see many?
I bet you. My guess is he got swamped. I would think, but
yeah. Well, he had the fancy VIP pass and everything, so he had the extra. Let's see here. Did you see many CSG slide with the new label? I haven't seen one.
Wow.
I saw the old label. I saw a handful of those. But I definitely haven't seen a lot. No. I know I've seen a lot of tables with slabs, but I haven't really seen the new one yet. I wasn't actively looking for it, but I definitely would recognize it. Like, I know it pretty well at this point. But no, I haven't really seen it. It was kind of unusual to me. Yeah. I just haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I'll have to look around. I did see a couple of weird off-brand, like third-party graders and stuff. KSA, of course. Mint, of course. PSA, SGC. See that. But no, I didn't see a lot. So, I don't know. So, we'll have to see. No meat guy. He was always at booth. There you go. Thank you, Brad. Yeah, he's always at both shows. Apparently not this time. Here you go.
Thou who shall not be named.
If you have to explain the joke, Brom, it's not a good joke. It was including chat. What if there are ladies in the chat? Jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're being inclusive here.
Yeah.
Tom. We're being inclusive here. Tom. Are you going to the show tomorrow? I am. Yager. Yep. Brad was the hot nut beer guy like back in the 90s. I don't know what Baz's obsession is with hot beer nut guy. What connotation are you doing? I have questions, Baz. I have questions. Yes, I did. Yeah. So any other questions as pertains to just general? Like I said, for me, it was easy. Yeah. The beer nut question came out a little wrong. That's why I'm questioning it. I had questions in the way you phrase it. I'm just saying. I'm just posing the question. The VIP Yager experience was incredible for all the fans. Oh, good. I'm glad. They paid good money for it, so I certainly hope it was good. I hope they enjoyed themselves. So that should be fun. But yeah, any other questions in terms of general? Vibe question, I can do my best. Like, it's a little tricky to gauge because, like, everybody's experience is going to be a little different. I did talk to some dealers. I talked to some other collectors that were there. I got some opinions for them, how they were feeling. I think the collectors I talked to were pretty happy. the collectors, for the most part, seemed pretty happy with a lot of it because they were able to find things. They were able to do some deals and stuff. Some of them who were trying to sell stuff, they were successful. Some of them wanted to do some trades. They were successful. I feel like if you came in with the right idea and understood what you were trying to do, I feel like you could get done what you wanted to get done. And if you were patient, I feel like you were successful. I think if you had impatience and you were trying to force something that wasn't there, then maybe it was a more frustrating experience. That would be maybe the way I would classify it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the ones who were willing to be patient and understood what they were trying to do going in, I think they've had a successful show so far, and that's the impression that I've gotten from a lot of folks.
Yeah, obviously I'm not there, but I would assume that would be the case. I still think I think it's slightly over 50% towards the buyer now. I think it is a buyer's market.
Yes.
And I think if you're patient and you are reasonable, I definitely think you can get some good deals on things.
Yeah, I agree with that. And kind of to Neo's point from earlier, I will check in with some folks that I know have more energy than I do and probably did attend the trade night. And I'll inquire with them because I will be curious to see what that trade night looked like this time around. Because I'm sure more people were available to go to it this time around. Because the first time the trade night, honestly, I think they did a bad job promoting it the first time. I think they did a better job this time. I'm curious to see how many people made their way over there. Because I think, from what I understand, I believe they started the trade night almost immediately as the expo was ending. Like, I think it started at 6 o'clock. And the show was ending at 6 o'clock. So I think for some of the dealers, they're like, okay, even if I want to go, I need to go get a bite to eat. Go to my hotel, drop off my stuff, take a shower, something. And then come over. And there's a bit of a time delay, a time gap there. I'm surprised they didn't put a little buffer in there for them. Because they were literally closing up their booths right at the end of the show there. I don't know. It's kind of weird. So I'll have to see. Now that you'd be looking for them, but do you remember any Crosby seismic goals? Haven't seen a lot of seismic goals for anybody. But no, I wasn't specifically looking for them, but I haven't seen a lot of them. Mind you, some of them might be sitting in stacks of maybe other seismic goals, but I haven't seen too many. Good evening, Brian. Absolutely. Glad you were able to pop in and say hey. Did you have any time to enjoy a beer at the food court? No, not today. Not today. It was kind of interesting. We'll have to see. Sunday will be interesting. I might drop off and sit down for a minute before I leave. How much attending the show costs for a family of 4 for one day? How much would attending the show cost for a family of 4 for one day? Well, just from an entry fee standpoint, what is the fee here? I can probably tell you. Give me a second. Tickets. If you went for one day, it would be... each day is a little bit different. If you're just going for one day, Fridays are $15 per person, $20 at the door. Saturday, $20, $25 at the door. Sunday, $15, $20 at the door. Kids under 12 get in free. So to answer your question, it depends on how old the kids are. And that would play into it. Otherwise, it'll be the per person if you're doing it at the door as opposed to buying it earlier. So those are the prices depending on. The VIP night, you wouldn't be in on that because that's not one of the ones you can buy a one-day ticket on. So you can do the math real quick depending on how many younger kids you have versus older kids or whatever the configuration is. So hopefully that answers that question. Attendance will be up. So here Brad's saying, attendance will be up 25% over last November show. That's a bold statement.
That's a big number.
But I know he was doing some research on this. Like I said, there's a steak dinner at stake. These are stakes here. Pun intended. There are stakes. We'll have to see. Any idea of what the Lemieux O-Pee-Chee Tops PSA 9 rookies were going for? I saw people list them. I saw prices all over the board, though. I guess it depends how aggressive they wanted to be and how much they thought they could get for it. I would say Martin Sports. They've got a lot of higher end Lemieux and stuff like that. Most of them, in fairness, though, are BGS, Eric's favorite. They may have come off a sheet, allegedly, that are higher grade. So probably very few PSA, mostly BGS. But PSA 9s, O-Pee-Chee Tops, I'm not sure. I'm trying to think. But there was a range. There was quite a spectrum, actually, for different places. Did you get an auto and use your VIP, Brad? I didn't. I didn't want to get in line for any of them. I wasn't in the mood for it at all. Is the show the same hall as the last Expo was held? No. This one was Hall 2, and the other one was a different hall. The other one had the weird configuration where it kind of hooked and then came over, and then the autograph area was in this other section where other ones were. So here we go. Brad giving this one. We had a PSA 9 Mario for sale, 4,500 and 0 bites. So that'll
Nobody
give you a little.
cares, Brad. Nobody cares.
I'm sorry. What was the name? Repeat that.
I didn't say anything.
Ha! All right. So no, it wasn't the same haul. I would say I like the haul better, to be honest, because the space and the grid formation was better. But I think there were some other things that were a little bit wonky. It was just weird the way it was set up. I didn't mind it too much, but again, as an attendee, great. I can imagine for a dealer though, frustrating. I can imagine this dealer frustrating. Agree 100%. Seems to be current market, finding good deals when patient. Even when kicked myself for missing card auction, end up buying the better card next day for cheaper. Yeah. Right now, being patient. If you're a collector, be patient. You will be rewarded. Right now, it's a good place. B-Rad said he knew you would say it.
Well, he's
correct.
Yeah, you got more stupid stuff in there you got to deal with.
I got it. Yeah.
Why is thou who shall not be named? Why is he typing and not on camera?
I don't know. It's a fair question. You want to come on, person who should not be named? We're not going to go for too long, just to be clear. But if you want to come on, you're more than welcome to. B-Rad 1, Eric 0. He's embracing the B-Rad moniker too. I like it. Embracing it.
Oh God.
Yep. So let me see here.
Bobby sent me a picture today. I gotta pull it up. It was hysterical. So oh, check this out.
All right.
So he got, I'm sure all three were supposed to be in the picture, but it looks like the biggest photo bomb in history. So Bobby sends me a picture of him and Carvin.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Brad in the back. Looks like he just snuck up on him and photobombed him.
Nice.
Oh.
I like that. Hold on. Let me go here. Yeah, can you block that account? Actually, it does, but they put one extra character here and there, and it completely messes it up. You can block it as many times as you want. If it's a spam bot, they'll just keep adjusting the name slightly to make it different. Just call Brad by his stage and film name, Bubbles, going forward. Yep. Waiting for Justin to say, yeah, I'll hop on. Yes. Just got back from Zorro's and can't move. Understood. That's fair. Yep, totally.
I didn't invite him to come on and dance.
Yeah. It's true.
I can't move.
It's like all you got to do is you got to prop up the phone, just position it.
Just sit there in the chair or couch or whatever, slump like a log, and
Well, in fairness, you did set the precedent. You've already done live streams from your bed. Literally didn't even leave your bed.
I wish I could have. That was not a good time.
Yep. So the precedent has been set. It is possible to do such a thing.
That is true.
Yep. I like the other room in November than this expo. That's interesting. You'd be probably one of the few. Dealers hated it. And most collectors completely missed the latter portion unless they happen to be over by the autographs. So I think you, David, would be in the minority. I didn't care one way or the other, but I could understand why a dealer would load that spot if you got stuck in that corner. Because you had minimal traffic over there.
Yeah, but what I didn't understand, it was why people were like so upset about it. You weren't like in a third room away from the autograph. Everyone who wanted autographs, which was hundreds, if not thousands of people over the 3-4 days, had to come into that room to get these autographs and see these celebrities. Why wouldn't you want to be in that room with them? It's like I had a whole different mindset on that second room. It seemed to me like that was a good deal.
Here's the thing. I'll compare this iteration of the expo. So the autograph area. So in this case, we didn't have that weird side room thing. The autograph area was over in a corner. It was in a specific area where they could do that and have the autographs and do all that stuff. But it was still on the main floor. And there were dealers around it and whatever. Every time I was by there, outside of autographs, the dealers around that area, had almost no traffic. It didn't help. The people would go for the autograph, go get their autograph, turn around and walk to the rest of the show to the other areas they wanted to go to. It was almost worse to be near the autograph section because people would kind of just ignore you. They'd go straight to the thing they wanted, turn around, and go somewhere else. It was weird. It was like I don't think it helped at all.
Really? All right. Well, I mean, maybe it did. I didn't. I don't know. But it just seemed to me, using a little bit of logic, that if you're near, all these celebrities, people have to walk right by your table to go see them. They may see something they like.
I just feel like maybe the issue was that maybe some folks that were doing the autographs were interested only in the autographs. They literally went for one thing. They went to that spot.
Yeah.
And then when they were done, they turned right around and either went home or went somewhere else.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, and it just didn't seem to translate. If you wanted to go there, you went there anyway. And if you just wanted the autographs, that's all you did, and you ignored the rest of it.
So where are the autographs now compared to the show? In the same room? They're just sitting there at a table out in the open?
Yeah, it's a general grid. So right now, think of it as being almost a big room, and almost everything was open. Like you could get to all the different areas. Nothing was blocked off. You didn't have extra walls or something blocking. You could go up and down, straight up and down aisles in a snake pattern and get to almost everything you wanted to get to. So like you could get from point A to point B without too much issue. So in theory, it should have been easier because then you don't have those blind spots that everybody's hidden away. But no, for whatever reason, certain areas didn't work. It was weird. So Casey here. Other than what you already knew you were picking up going to the show, did you find anybody else to knock off the checklist? One or two. Yep. I would say the bigger pickup was on the second day. On the first day where I picked up the ultimate card that happened to be on my buddy Josh's booth, and he had it on the Instagram. So I saw it and I made a beeline for it to strike that deal early. He was also the one that I bought these two off of today, so we were able to get that done. These ones came later on in the day. So these ones were, now one of these, that's a duplicate. I've already got that. This one is a new one. So I did get that one. That is a new one for me. So that's good. So I can't complain about that. But yeah, in terms of new additions, it's been fewer and far between. Partially because I wasn't seeing too much stuff I liked. And partially because I wasn't willing to pay prices that certain folks wanted it for. So it was weird. It's like either they didn't have any or the pricing was off. So it's like, okay, fine, sure. If Bubbles is going to dance, he would go to Old Zanzibar on Young Street. Maybe he's even dressed up as Zero. B-Rad likes that one. Bubbles' favorite movie, Going Down the Road. And again, when I say Bubbles, I mean B-Rad. That's going to be his new nickname now. That is always true. Some folks only want autos, and there's also some casual collectors that want autos and also buy other things. That is right. Yep. Yeah, in November show, we're back in the original Hall 5. That's right. So here's what's funny. We went to a weird configuration in the fall. We're in Hall 2 in this grid formation, and then we're going to the original Hall 5, so we're going to have a third different configuration in the fall. So there's no real consistency. So it's one of those things. All right, if you didn't like it, don't worry. Wait longer. We're going to get a different setup next time anyway.
So they didn't. So this show, this spring/summer show,
Yes.
is not in the original hall. The typical one.
This is Hall 2.
Okay.
It's been before, I believe, but it's been a long time. Like, I believe at one time or another, if we go back far enough, I feel like they've used almost all the main halls at least once. Some of them get used more often than others, but a lot of it is based on availability. That's been the thing over the years, is that once they settled in on certain ones, because you remember the International Center, the Convention Center, is a bunch of different halls that are all set up completely differently in these weird different ways. So you got to look at the hall and go, okay, so what are the quirks of this place? How many tables are we trying to fit in here? How would we want to do this? That's why I say the last one, when you came in, the first one you attended, was a completely different configuration than I'd ever seen. And I had been doing it since the mid-90s. I had never seen that configuration.
Okay.
But it was the nature of the hall. That's how it's set up. That's what they had to do. This one was more conventional, more straightforward, but I don't think we'd been in that hall in a while. So it's kind of interesting. So it's like, okay, that's fine. But it happens.
Well, I look forward to seeing, quote, the original or the most used or however, the most typical hall and actually be at a, more typical November show this year. So
I think
see what it's really like and be able to compare. Because obviously I still think it was the greatest hobby experience of my life was being there in November and it was awesome. So It was there's nothing that even can compare even close to November's experience. So I don't care if they had it in the parking lot. It was next to a dump, next to a sewage treatment plant. It was still going to be the best experience ever.
So Hall 7. As far as I know, there's no Hall 7, but maybe there will be. It's saying, Eric, we're doing it in Hall 7. Wait, are you sure? Shh. Send him to Hall 7. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Be quiet. So they basically, I PC'd him a car and nobody had any. That surprises me. I'd be very surprised because I think almost any player you like that has any notoriety was available at some tables. I have to see. I obviously I didn't specifically look, but I'm pretty confident that some folks had it. Why not put a show in the original Hall 6 and call it Original 6? There you go. Did you notice any price adjusting at all? For the smarter dealers, yes.
Yeah, if they want to move stuff.
Yeah, the smaller dealers were willing to adjust. Like I said, I know some dealers who did great business. They did booming business, but they adapted on the fly. And they even between days of the show, if they saw certain trends, they're like, okay, let's make a tweak. Let's make an adjustment here. And they understood like, hey, if I want to make money, I know how much I have into this. What can I price this at that it'll move? Well, stacks of it would be compiled. Money would change hands. Gone. Done. On to the next deal. So it's like, right. It was possible, but I think some dealers might have been in over their heads. Maybe they put too much into it and they just couldn't move on it, and that made them stagnant. That stuck them. Like I said, even for this thing, most of these are commons, but I wanted them for my set. And I didn't get like a monster discount, to be fair, but I was able to get a fair deal. Like, I can buy some of this stuff on ComC. Some of these cards in similar grades are available on ComC already graded, but it'd be like 12, 15 US. I got them for sub 14 Canadian. Solid, like for a nice still stack. So that built it up at the collection right there. So that's good. And then obviously now I've got those off the checklist. I don't have to worry about them. I'm going to take them off my checklist, scratch them off. And now the list is smaller. I've made great progress in one shot, in one deal. But I was able to buy in a big bulk. And they still have more. Like, maybe I could go back and buy a couple more just to grab a few, but I'll think about it. Like, I have one more day to think about that. But I figured I'd grab a stack anyway, so done. But definitely there was price adjustment, Mike. It was just a matter of, I guess if it's a more savvy dealer who bought better and they were able to be more adaptable to it. And most dealers that I talked to were flexible. They were willing to chat with. Like, even when I bought, like, about this one. I paid $60 for it. They put an $80 sticker on it. And I said, okay, what do you want to do with it? I saw the $80 sticker. I didn't want to pay $80. So I said, okay, let's see. What do you want to do on it? So I like the dealer to make the first move. You tell me kind of what you want to do. Sometimes they'll put it back on me. Like, what do you want to pay? I was thinking 60. So the guy goes, I don't know if I can do 60. Because he goes, I think it's 60, but I don't know if I can do 60. And I go, I'm kind of thinking 60. And he goes, all right, I'll do 60. Done. He wanted to complete a sale. Like, done. The sticker is a starting point. The sticker is the opening of negotiations. You're not stuck on it. Yep, yeah. I agree with Eric. What's the world coming to? Oh man, brutal.
He's just sucking up. He wants to get back in my good graces because he knows I'm still mad at him.
For all that your good graces are worth. Can we get a list of like items that you get for your good graces? Is there anything specific? It's like a shirt, or do you get like a membership card or something?
Get a pin.
No, at least it's a pin. That's something.
I'm in Eric's good graces.
I see.
Yeah.
Is it July 1st yet? Not yet.
No, yeah. But hey, listen, go back to the first time that when I mentioned this in January. Everything I've said has come to fruition. It's going to continue to drop. Inflation has gone through the roof, like I said. You got summer coming. You got the vacations and all that stuff. People are going to put money towards, but I don't, not that they can anymore. When I just put $85 in my gas tank yesterday. I mean, it's not. I think the hobby's going to take a huge hit with just from the inflation. Who has extra money? Joe Average doesn't have extra money to throw at a $200 and something piece of cardboard with the guy's face on it. And I think it is going to take a hit. Plus, there's a natural correction to the outlandish prices that were being paid over 2 years that we were stuck inside going insane. And remember, if it wasn't for COVID, none of that would have happened. We were not on a trend to hit that type of explosion. We were trapped in our houses. We were going insane. We weren't spending money on gas and going to work and donuts in the morning and coffee, and we had extra money and we spent it. And the dealers were like, good, spend more, spend more. Those days are done. And with what groceries cost now, you just don't have the money to put into this hobby what you were doing 2 years ago. And it's just going to get worse. Everything goes down in the summer anyway, starting in July, and then it comes up again in the winter. We're going down. I said we would be right above the norm before COVID. I didn't think we'd go to it. I didn't think we'd go below it. I said we would be right above it. I'm starting to if this inflation crisis turns into a recession, we're gonna go back to equal or below for a while, because who the hell has only the extremely rich is going to have enough money to play in this hobby for the big cards. And you'll say, oh yeah, look, Tom Brady or that Babe Ruth card sold for $1 million. Well, that's great because a billionaire bought it, but the rest of us, we're in trouble.
So all I heard from you is we have to become billionaires.
Well, that's
the obvious solution. Like I don't know what y'all are talking about. Just fix the problem, become a billionaire.
That's what I'm doing. That's my plan.
That seems simple to me.
Yes,
it seems pretty straightforward. Like,
yeah,
problem solved. So Paul here says whole point of shows to get better at eBay is to get better than eBay. Dealers don't realize this. You're going to be out of business soon. Yeah, they're going to have a lot of problem with it. Paul here says, so really, what do you want for this $40 card? Got to do the negotiation, right, Paul? That's right. Peter here. Card collecting has friction in transaction, but it feels like somebody can supply technology with I have this, with I want this would enhance this type of show. I think there's a lot of technology thing. I was chatting with this at dinner today, and I think there's a lot of technology that we could do better at that would help. But forget even technology. This show has one thing that I think they do need to improve at. They have gotten a little better at it, but they can do infinitely better. Their social media profile is still minuscule compared to what it should be. They should be taking advantage. I still don't see it. Like, I'm still waiting for it. And it's like, I'm not asking for anything, but I'm saying, shouldn't you be reaching out to content creators? Shouldn't you be reaching out to people that have social media followings, that are coming, that they can provide you that extra exposure? You should be doing live from the expo. Make it easy. Make it available. Why shouldn't I have a section where you can hook up a thing and go live from the expo and make it a thing? So that you can have people chatting and doing this, that, and the other thing. And, we're at the Toronto Expo, International Center, blah, blah, blah. You should come down. Hey, look at all the stuff that's going on. People can do it on their own, but help them. Like, make it easier because it benefits you. It's promotion for your show. Why should they have to do all the work? And then it's like, well, you're getting all the benefit, but you're not contributing towards the work, right? So I don't know. It's kind of a weird move. It's an opportunity that's being missed still, and it's simple at this stage. Just make access to some of the internet near there available. Give access to some high-speed internet. You could get streams done. You could have streams live from the expo that could really help promote the product and get it out to folks and be like, oh yeah, stuff is going on. Hey, there are people walking down the aisles. Okay, maybe I should check it out. That's an opportunity. So Josh here, gas is $2 a liter here. We still have it good compared to us. True.
I'm not Josh. Listen. Carlos is much better at this. I'm not a math major with the conversion, and I'm not gonna look on the computer. But we're paying in this country anywhere between $5 and $6 a gallon, and it's really destroying. And then the biggest issue, of course, is diesel is even more expensive, and the truck drivers are putting hundreds and hundreds of dollars to fill up their tanks to get our goods to us, and someone has to pay for that. It's not going to come out of their pocket, and it's just trickle down. And until this stuff gets fixed, all hobbies. I don't care if you like model airplanes. All hobbies, everything that's fun and an extra is going to take a hit because we're running out of money to spend on extras.
Yep. I'll give you the quick math on it. How much is your price per gallon?
I paid like $4.99, so like $5 $4.99, 99 over, 100, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So
Josh is
$5.
quoting 5.37 per gallon your money.
Yeah.
And that's on the low end. Name is actually higher than that.
And California's, I think, broke 6.
Yeah. And there are sections of the country that can probably dwarf that. So it's one of those things like, yeah, because it's per liter, right? US gallons is 3.7, 3.8 liters per gallon, give or take. So there's your conversion, just to give you a general ballpark. Inflation's ever taken by people's pocket. Name says almost 2019 per liter in Kelowna. Yep. Some of the new products aren't exactly overwhelming. That's true. And some of them aren't available. Like some of it, people are actually waiting for the product to come out, period, regardless. Eric Stradamus foreseeing the card apocalypse. It's coming. The card apocalypse. Problem is when we're billionaires, it won't mean anything. You'll need to be a trillionaire. No, that's why you got to be billionaires now.
Yeah.
Don't wait until by the time, yes.
Dave, you're right. I mean, the United States, for example, over the last handful of years before COVID hit and everything, we were on a very good trajectory. The people had money in their pockets. Things were good. The economy was booming. Unemployment rates were extremely low. But then people, wants to, and this isn't a political thing. It's just facts. People wants to raise minimum wage. Well, all right. Well, my $10 pizza just went up to $15 to pay the delivery guy his $15 an hour that they're paying him now, instead of the, $8 an hour they were paying him last week. So, you're always chasing. You think you get ahead, and then the goalposts move. So you're 100% right. Once we all become billionaires, the trillionaires will have it all, and we'll still be poor. It's just the way it is.
Live the dream. Yeah, people are suggesting refiners are putting higher levels of ethanol in the gas now, which means the advantage for a car engine soon. There you go. Chris J. Kind of in the same vein of what you're talking about. Not sure this economy's working with inflation. Employers hurting for employees because nobody wants to work. I don't know what you guys are doing in the States, but anybody who wants to work over here can, and they do.
It's not down here. Every single business has a.
So what you're saying is Americans are lazy. Got it.
I don't think that is news.
Yep. There you go.
That is not news.
Yeah. It was funny because I was having a conversation about the thing is that I laughed because the idea is that and they complain about the thing is that when they say it's like nobody wants to work, it's like, well, be honest, with a lot of the pay that a lot of those folks are getting at that level, it's like, why bother at that price point? Because I think a lot of folks forget, and this has always been an issue, that somebody has to do that work no one wants to do. But it's the way the folks look at the economy, they look at it the same way. And I'll put this back into cards here. I'm going to bring it back over to cards. People look at the economy the same way they look at cards. What you want is let's say new product for a second, for the sake of argument. You want a new product that is $10 a box, that you open it and get $500 worth of cards that you can sell on eBay for $5,000, and that is limited. These things are not possible in the same universe. Like there's a disconnect between these things. It's not actually possible to do all these things simultaneously. You can have a couple of these things together, but they don't all work together. So it's one of those things where people look at, the minimum wage thing. Minimum wage jobs are on the low end of the scale. They're jobs that really no one wants to do, realistically. So you don't want to do them. You want someone to do them, but you also want them to get paid nothing. You don't say you don't want them to get paid nothing, but you really do, because if they get paid nothing, then the cost for you on the thing that they're doing is cheaper. But, much like everything else, and this is just reality, if they paid them nothing, then the cost of your thing would drop like 5%. Because it's not their salaries that's the cost. It's like the gasoline thing. They're like, oh, if we reduce the tax on gasoline, then gasoline will be cheaper. Not really. We reduce the tax on gasoline. Okay, so gasoline taxes are off now. Okay, cool. How much was it per gallon before? It's $5 a gallon. Okay, they dropped the taxes. What's it now? $4.95. Wait, so you're saying tax was 5 cents a gallon? No, actually it wasn't, but we still want to make money. So we'll knock off 5 cents, but now it's more profit. Thanks. Appreciate it. You reduced our costs. We're not actually transferring that much of it to you. Just so you know, we're still charging you. So your pizza, by the way, I could pay the pizza man nothing. I could force the pizza man to pay. And now your pizza is $12. Enjoy. You didn't say it wasn't the pizza. The pizza man is the excuse. It's a great excuse, but it's an excuse. It's not true. So but it's better this way because the pizza guys actually want to, they actually would rather pay the pizza man $20 an hour because then they could charge you $45 for the pizza. Even though that math makes no sense. Even though that math literally makes no sense. It's like, wait, so you increased it 10 and now I have to pay $20? Wait, how does that? Taxes or something.
Or so, yeah. No,
You're just
right.
making shit up is what you're saying. Like, whatever it is, I'll charge you double. Like, it doesn't matter.
Well, I just, I said a few minutes ago, and it's kind of, I think we're all on the same page. You get, you play in the game, you get to that point, you think you're doing something, you finally made it, and then the goalposts move, and it's the same thing. So you can't win, and there's always another reason or an excuse or scam that's putting us behind the eight ball. So this is just the newest thing.
Yeah. It's always kind of fun for me, though.
And remember, politicians never take a pay cut.
That's basically it, yeah. But that's why I say, like, I generally stay out of the thing because for me, I don't really care day to day. But I laugh about people trying to simplify a very complicated issue into a very simplistic issue. It's like, nope, you're just trying to find somebody to blame. But just so you know, if you fix that thing, it's not actually going to fix your problem. Because there's more things. There's more things. Yeah, it'll be a different thing this time. So in reality, that's why I say, like, when we've got it here, those companies that complain about the tax on this, that, and the other thing, it's actually they prefer the tax exists because it gives them a wonderful excuse to raise the price. If you didn't give them that, they'd have to come up with a different excuse to raise the price. They're going to raise the price either way. Just make it, okay, reduce my expenses. I'm still charging you more. Why? Because I like making money? It's better for me if I charge you more. Just give me an excuse, though. It makes it easier. That way you can blame them. It's not me wanting more money. It's them.
Well, it's affecting this hobby, and it's all crashing.
We'll be fine as long as the Pelican cases keep selling.
Yes, yep, that's right. I think it all hinges on Pelican cases.
I will only subscribe to your newsletter on this one, Eric, if I hear concrete numerical facts that Pelican case sales have been affected by this. Okay. If I see the numbers starting to trend down on Pelican case sales, we're doomed. Then and only then are we.
That's doomed. The sign. That's the sign right there.
That's the real one. That is the economic indicator. That is the canary in the coal mine. I need numbers on the Pelican case sales.
Yeah. I think we need those numbers on July 1st because that's really going to determine how much trouble we're in.
Correct. That's the real one. That's the real economic indicator. That's what I need to hear about. Someone has got to get on this. I need to know the numbers. So good evening, Frank. Absolutely. Sounds good. All right. So I think that's good. I think we're more or less caught up here. Let's see here. Oh, we got a comment coming up here from Baz. Eric is looking a little like Dave Hodge. There's a Hockey Night in Canada reference. Bobby Orr's Mr. Peanut commercial buddy. That's a specific reference. I like that. And even include a little Bobby Orr for you.
Hey, anytime you can bring up Bobby Orr, I'm all for it. Even if you're busting mine, I ain't no problem with that. My peanuts. But Carlos, you showed me a picture. You were able to be in the company of true greatness today. Took a picture and sent it to me, and had me hemorrhaging in delight. You were able to get a picture of the greatest hockey card ever made in a I say pristine. What are they? They call it, what was it? Mint, near mint.
It's a 6.
It's a 6, but it is a 1966 Bobby Orr rookie Topps USA test version of his rookie card. This is the king of hockey cards. Not a Wayne Gretzky, not a Gordie Howe, not a Mario Lemieux. This is it. This is the hockey card that's out there. You can't get any bigger, better. This is it. And Carlos was able to be in its presence today and took some photos and sent them to me. And it's absolutely incredible that thing is in that good of a shape. There's very, very limited supply. I myself have never been in the presence of one. I have never even seen a top USA test card of any of the cards in the set. Mm-hmm. So to have the Orr in that type of condition is remarkable. That I would give up my entire collection for that.
Well, considering the quality of the card, I can understand that. That makes sense.
I'd give up everything.
It is a tougher card. That's the thing. It's got the pedigree of the player. It's got the pedigree of being the rookie. It's got all that going for it. It is also a rare card, just an objectively rare card, given the test issue. Like it's a big deal. There was a card. I want to take a picture of it tomorrow. In the baseball realm, the Venezuelan issues are kind of the scarce versions, specifically scarce versions, and they're tough to come by. And even trash versions of them go for good money because they're just so super scarce. And that's the kind of thing that you're thinking about in that category. So that one, they were at PW. So I think Josh here is asking, was you at Martin's? PWCC. PWCC is the one who had that on display. They were the ones that, if you went over to the booth, you could check out a bunch of super high-end stuff. There was a lot there. But that was specifically a card that I knew was at the PWCC one. So Casey's got a question here. I'll get that in 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
I kid you not. That very well might be, unless they have a mantle that's like a 10, or a roof that's a 10, or they have
they have 3 52 tops mantles and a 10.
Okay.
They just haven't gone up for auction, but they're out there.
And it's I don't know why it's the biggest baseball card.
The Honus Wagner.
Right. I couldn't get it. Unless they have a Wagner or a mantle or a Ruth and 10s, that's the biggest card at the show.
Yeah. Yeah. You won't see the 10 mantle at that show, but like I said, there are 3 of them out there. I'd like to see one tested. The market, if you want to test the high-end market, the test would be the mantle 10.
Yeah.
If somebody put the mantle 10 up for a good auction that's promoted properly, that would be your real test to see where the market would go on that one.
Well, but it's going to be won by a millionaire/billionaire anyway.
It has to be automatically. It has to be.
And they have the money to. They don't care, recession or not. They don't care. They have the money.
Yeah, because at that point it doesn't affect them one way or the other.
But so we can't judge the hobby over a multi-billionaire spending $2.6 million on a mantle card. We can't be, the hobby's healthy. Look at no, that guy's healthy. The rest of us are in the freaking poorhouse.
Which is why I said the solution is to become a billionaire now. Don't wait until later. Do it now.
All right, tomorrow.
That's right. Get started. All right, so Eric, so Casey's trolling you a bit. Cale Makar, greater than Bobby Orr.
So silly.
So Baz here says, I hate to say it, Bobby Orr looks a little like the kid in the Porsche with the banjo in the movie Deliverance. I can't unsee the resemblance in my head now. I like the specificity of this reference. Very specific. Very specific.
I don't know why people got to be mean.
I don't know. It happens.
It's just straight up mean. I don't
get
it.
They see you, and they feel compelled.
I'm telling.
You can tell them as much as you want.
I'm gonna tell.
Yep. Okay, so real quick here. So read this one. Avid watcher and generally agree with you on the hobby. What are your thoughts on Christian Josh stooging for PWCC after Josh has an interview with Brent from PWCC a few years ago? So it goes back to a theme that we talked about before. Let me stay general on this. General, because the statement I have is very general. There's a lot of segments in the hobby, and I'm not picking on Christian Josh specifically. I'm not even going to worry about that. The PWCC thing. I'll comment on it in general terms, just so you understand. A lot of folks put a lot more stock in the personal relationship over everything else. The vetting doesn't exist. It's one of those things where, like, I meet so-and-so at a card show. We have a good conversation. We chat about this, that, and the other thing. Maybe we got some stuff in common. We can trade some notes on this, that, and the other thing. There are a lot of folks in the hobby who are really good at chatting with folks, kind of working the room, getting on good terms with everybody, because day to day, they're not difficult people to like. And if you like certain people, it's very easy to kind of look past her and think, oh, maybe these people are just haters, or they don't know them, like I know them. I have a good relationship conversation with them, this, that, and the other thing. And because of that, it's like, well, I'm not really sure about that stuff. But at the same time, you're not really doing any digging into any questions of the past or whatever. And I've talked about this general theme for a while. PWCC has a long-standing reputation of a lot of shady business going back years. When they were back on eBay, after they got bounced from eBay, from their inception, this, that, and the other, trimming, all kinds of stuff. Well, PWCC still exists. They do auctions. So the question you have to ask yourself as a collector is, Oh, could I do business with that? Well, here's the thing. I still buy stuff on their auction because if I see something that's useful to me that I like, but I'm going in with my eyes open. I understand this pre-standing issue. I'm not running away from it. If you ask me, like, oh, do they have a Shady Pass? You're damn right they do. So does Golden. So does a lot of other people in the space. So do some folks at eBay that let certain things slide and look the other way during that whole process. So here's our problem. Okay, you want to avoid all these problems in the hobby. Cool. Question. So you can't use eBay, you can't use ComC, you can't use PWCC, you can't use Golden. What's left? Oh, by the way, you can't use the manufacturers either because a bunch of folks that worked at a lot of these places are working there now. Now what? Any high-end looking vintage card over the last 25 years that has straight edges and looks really good, you got to at least consider the possibility it's been trimmed. Whether it's in a holder or not. Now what? Other than that, we're good.
Yeah, other than that.
But like I said, I'm not trying to lie to you. I'm not trying to give you down this primrose path and say like it's this thing. There are those of us who have been around the hobby a long time and we look around and go like, there's a lot of shifty business around here. There's a lot of like questionable stuff, this, that, and the other thing. So kind of to Casey's specific question, Chris and Josh, they've been very supportive of PWCC. Josh had the interview with Brent. These are statements of public fact. This isn't like, we can find the videos. Don't worry, they're there. So, but it goes back to because they had those interviews and conversations back then. And because maybe when they go to a trade show, they go to a Mint Collective, this, that, and the other thing. They've had good relationship. They've never had a personal issue, like good conversations, this, that, and the other thing. Great. Cool. Okay. So I can't really blame them for being like, they're not even necessarily going out of the way to defend necessarily, but they're not really going to condemn them very much because they're like, well, I've dealt with him and he's a swell guy to me, right? We make the joke and we have fun with it about Len Potty and Eric infuriating Len because, Eric infuriates everyone. But here's the thing. It is a statement of fact that I've dealt with Len Potty for many years and I've never had any issue. That is a fact. That is a statement of fact. That has been my experience. Does that mean no one else has ever had a bad issue with Len ever? No, I can't say that. That would be wrong, most likely. And I'm pretty confident it's wrong because I know. But can I say truthfully that my dealings with him have all been good? Yes. Every last one of them have been good over many years. Does that mean that I'm going to give Len carte blanche, a complete voucher over everything? I can't do that. That would be foolish of me to do. But imagine if you did that. You could. And you could say truthfully, like, under oath, lie detector test, whatever you want. How's your relationship been so-so? Fantastic. What happens every time something bad happens on TV? They find the serial killer. They interview the neighbors. Oh, he was such a nice guy. He came over for dinner. We talked and chatted. This is 100% true. Doesn't change what they did. Right? It's an extreme example, but do you get my point that I'm trying to get at? Personal relationship is one thing. So you can speak to that definitively. But in the hobby, we have a lot of people that are really good at building good personal relationship with a lot of folks who will then vouch for them blindly. And then when we go look behind the curtain, it's like, actually, you've been doing a lot of stuff that's a little questionable. And then we still do business in some cases because, well, if we get rid of everybody who's dirty, then there's nobody left in the room. So now what do you want to do? You have to do business with some of these people occasionally if you still want to participate in the game. Yep, Gary Moser was a great guy to shoot.
I just want to say I can't comment on this because I don't on this specific topic. I don't fully have all the information or the understanding of what the situation is, and I don't want you to tell me now or go over it now. Mm-hmm. You can educate me, or I'll go educate myself, or both. But I know I've said many positive things about Chris and Christina and Card Ladder and stuff.
But that's the reason why I stayed broader.
I don't want people thinking that I'm not commenting because there's an ulterior motive. The reason I have nothing to say on this question is I'm oblivious to what is being asked or discussed, and I can't comment on anything I don't know about. So yeah. I'll educate myself and if necessary have if people care about my opinion on it, I'll give one in the future, but I can't talk about something I don't understand. So I just want people to understand that I'm not sitting here quietly because I'm a Chris and Christina fan. I'm sitting here quietly because I don't know what is being discussed.
Sure, but staying away from the specific. Do you agree with my premise though that I'm saying
Yes.
that there is a lot of cases in the hobby where individuals kind of create blank vouchers for different things where then if you look into it a little deeper, it's like, are you sure you want to give a blank vouch? That's a
Right.
little dangerous because we've discussed before. That is a dangerous move.
Right.
You're putting your reputation on the line in addition. You better be damn well comfortable with that because it is a tough thing to pull back. Once you've done it, it's like, but you said they were cool and they did this and this and this and this and this. And there's a whole track record and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's not a great place to be if you're not 100% confident.
Yeah, listen, I've been very open about how I feel about Name Cardinal and Indigenous rookie cards, and yet, people continue to watch his shows and trade with them and do business with them and donate to his charities. I've told all of you what a horrible, horrible human being this is, and yet you just won't listen.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know what to do.
There you go. Name, you're going to have to answer for yourself. I told you, abandon your children, be a good father, abandon your children, and defend yourself. In the meantime, I'll read these comments.
Okay.
So John here, good evening. This whole thing stinks, Carlos. I understand. No, I get you. I get you. But that's why I say, like, I try to balance this line where, like, look, I've been here long enough. I understand where a lot of these bodies are buried. I understand where some of these skeletons are. But I'm not involved in it day to day. And I'm being honest, for the most part, I don't care. It doesn't really affect me day to day. I'll pay attention to what I'm dealing with and who I'm dealing with and where I'm dealing. I pay very close attention to that because I'm looking after my own interests. But if you ask me, is XYZ look off to you? I'll answer you as best I can to the best of my knowledge. I have no reason to hide that from you. But it's like, guys, a lot of that shit's dirty. Sorry. A lot of it. And a lot of it goes back years or decades in some cases. Go back to previous episodes. What do we talk about? We talk about Bill Mastro. What do we talk about? We talk about Bill Mastro being interviewed by Probstein.
That's why I don't do
That's
business.
a simple
Probstein
example.
anymore.
Like, I don't even need to help you. Like, it's there.
And I used to purchase lots of stuff from Probstein, and I will not do it anymore.
Yeah. And that is your option. And
Yeah.
you are allowed. But if you want to know, like, ask. If I know, or someone I know has some information and we can share it with you, happy to do it. No problem, no worries. I'll
And of
answer
course,
these.
and then he had his show a couple of weeks ago, and thou who shall not be named attended that, where he had a complete row of autograph signers that I think every single one of them have a criminal record. So I may be wrong on every one of them, but it was a real cast of characters that have real issues in life over the years. And I was like, he's promoting this family event. Come here. This is going to be all about family, not just that single white guy going up and down the aisles. And, this is going to be a family event. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be the best show it's ever been put on. I've put all this time and money into it. And here are my autograph guests. Mike Tyson, convicted rapist. Latrell Sprewell, I choked my coach. Michael Vick, I murdered dogs. I mean, and it just kept Marcus Camby. Oh, I had my NCAA Final Four title taken away from UMass Amherst because I, cheated and took money and did all that. It just went on and on and on of the people he were having sign at this family event. It's like, are you kidding me? You put Mastro on your channel and say what a great guy he is, and then you have this family event where they all have prison numbers. I don't get this guy. I do not get him.
I feel like you should have a stronger stance and really be clear about how you feel.
I do not understand this man.
But before you do, I'm going to read some of these comments. Okay. You asked now what? Buy cheap star cards and Hall of Fames that are Ross, 25 cents to 10 to 15 to 25 each. You can, Bass. But some of that stuff's been trimmed years ago. Some have been altered years ago. There's plenty of raw stuff from Hall of Famers and blah 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 that got trimmed. Doesn't matter how cheap it is. I can tell you that a bunch of that stuff is trimmed. Not all of it. I'm not claiming that, but a bunch of it, because there was incentive at the time to trim it and make it look nicer. Why? It helps it sell better. It's a little nicer condition. Some of that stuff's short. Again, if you know what you're looking for, you'll be able to pick up on a lot of that and avoid a lot of it. But just assume that if something has a lot of nice edges and it looks a little short, question marks. Question marks. I found that collecting hockey cards great. Most of the people and actors in it suck. Same thing with Game Board Hockey Hobby. Yeah, fair enough. Here. Card Ladder needs the data now. I challenged Chris on this and asked how many PWCC auctions have been excluded from Card Ladder after the left eBay because of shilling non-payment. Answer, none. And that, I will say, is consistent with a response that he has posted, because his opinion is that he feels that PWCC does a good enough job. In his opinion, he has posted this. This is out there. He has posted that he believes that PWCC removes the non-payment ones to his satisfaction. So he just takes their data as is. So take that for what you will. I'm just letting you know what he's put out there previously. Yeah, just swallow the bad tasting food because once in a while they give him a bite of something good. Yep, basically. In this hobby, the fraudsters are full-time. The customers are very part-time. Yep, sounds about right. Bobby Bro, you spent $5 on probe scene, Eric.
What?
Accusations. Accusations.
What is he doing in the comments? Why isn't he here with us?
Well, like I said, I didn't send over a link. I did say he's catching on to it now. So here, I don't deal with any of the companies or people you mentioned. I deal with LCS in my area only. I get the good info on the raw vintage cards and where they came from. Yeah, and if you're able to do your own due diligence, that's a perfectly viable way of doing it. That's completely fair. Aussie Card Day. Hey guys, late to party day. My 2 cents here has always been there's shadiness in the hobby. We just need to learn to navigate as best you can. And that's been the approach for a long time.
Yeah, 100%.
So, it is what it is. Probsting saying Master Consigned Stream was classic. Yeah.
Yep. I think that was a mistake. I think he slipped. Yeah. I think that was a mistake. I don't think that was supposed to be said on that live interview he did with him. I think that was a complete oopsie.
Yeah. But be that as it may, whether that is true or not, guess what? It's on tape. But some people see it, absorb it, understand it, don't care.
Some don't.
So that's the thing. Like, the hobby has chosen some of these folks that have lists of transgressions over time, and they just roll with it. So at a certain point, it's like, so what do you want me to do about it? You, the collective you, hobby, have chosen to be like, this is fine. So I'm not the police. I'm not here to stop it. You ask me, I will tell you what I know. But that's as far as that's all I can do. That's it. But don't expect me to care about it, because it's like, well, you don't care. So whatever. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. Marcus can't be taking money. Is it a crime? The NCAA isn't a real organization anyway. That part I can live with. Yeah.
Listen, and that's true. All right. I will say this about the Marcus Camby situation that I brought up. I'm prejudiced. And why am I prejudiced? I'm from Massachusetts. I was on that bandwagon, back in the 90s, when they were, making that run, staying up, watching games, going to, get-togethers, watching UMass play. And it sucked to have Final Four banner taken down, and taken away from, our major university here in the state that, it's a public university. Taxpayers put money into it. It's the University of Massachusetts. It's not a private thing like Boston College or Harvard or, I'm prejudiced. I'll be the first to say it.
There you go. Blessing breaks. Come on, man. America's about forgiveness. No one cares about Mike Tyson and Michael Vick being criminals. This has been proven true over time.
That's unfortunately that, the next thing you know, you see OJ at one of these things and people lined up.
OJ will get a parade.
Yeah.
Give the man his parade.
It's just ridiculous.
Yep. Just like the hobby collective has chosen to keep overpaying for sealed wax, the hobby is smarter. Correct. That's what I say. Like, what's the point of asking people to protect you if the information's there? It's not like it's hidden. It's not like it's even hidden well. It's not like, oh my God, how will we ever find this out? You mean watch the videos that exist or the documentation that exists over here or over here or over here? It's like, they really suck at hiding their tracks. Just so we're clear, they really are bad at it. They give you this information. You can choose to do with it as you will, but The information is available, I promise. Okay, you do you. Whatever works for you, man. Anyway, so that was kind of a fun kind of side conversation to it. But yeah, any other kind of thoughts? I want to wind her down a little bit. It's been good to have a little bit of fun conversation with it. So here, I'll read John's comment. Pretty simple. People who know the bad actors are bad just need to stop dealing with them once their business dries up and hopefully go away for good. That has been the market. That is the market option. People choose to still do business though. And even the ones that say like they know it, they still choose to do business. So what do you want me to do about it? That's why I say like, if you choose to still do business, then I don't want to hear you complaining or crying about it after the fact, because that doesn't make any sense. You can't have it both ways. You want to clean up the thing? Okay, fine. Once you've identified the bad actors, stop doing business. But if you keep doing it, well then what's the incentive for them to stop? What's the point? Yeah. Most people want, that's correct.
How many times have you said that? You say that all the time when we have discussions.
This is the thing, is like, this isn't a great revelation. I'm just stating a statement of fact. Like, what do you want from me? That's all I'm trying to do. Like, I've said it. Yeah, CC, Eric, you're right. The Aura Rookie is awesome. Do you have one? Real one, not that other one.
That's not what he asked.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what he asked. Yes, I have a pristine. I keep right here on my desk. It's pristine. It's absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Right there on the desk.
Yep.
I got 5 more just like it in a box.
Exactly. There will be other bad actors replacing the current lot. Exactly. Yep. Could have bought a KSA 3 or rookie today. 3,600. I passed.
I probably would have bought it.
3,600 is pretty hefty. PSA 3 too. It's kind of interesting.
Oh my God, that would have been tough to walk away from, because that's about my. I would say that's probably at the absolute most that I could spend on an old rookie and not get a divorce. She could probably tolerate that if I then promise not to buy cards for 6 months or a year.
I like that Bobby's follow-up is KSA. That's right. I know. I agree with you. I understand.
Yeah, but it's still, if the card, if it's still an or rookie, and if it looked okay, you buy the card, not the holder. And
you'd have to take a good look at it to be comfortable with that.
I just I don't know. It's tough.
Yep. Who knew Eric could take his hat off? Thought it was attached to your head. Can't wait to see my fan sign. Bob does have a fan sign. There you go. Good that you got it on the desk. Okay, so apparently I said PSA. My apologies. It's late for me still. I'm still kind of tired. A Fugly 3. Oh, so that's a shame. Doesn't have a good eye appeal. And it's KSA. Brutal.
Yeah,
that's rough.
I mean, seriously. I mean, if it looks horrible, then no, I'm not spending the money. But I mean, if the thing's got some bang, if thing's a little off center and the corner's a little bit banged up, but the surface is still good, that's a tough one. I may have to call home and say, honey, may I please name your price of what I have to do?
Yep. So good luck at the show tomorrow. Thanks for showing the cards. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it. Apparently nice centering, heavy creasing. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
could have been worse. At least it wasn't HGA or BGS. That's facts. Yeah, so let's see here. Bob, I'd ask how the show was, but Carlos is happy to rewind. I would. But let me see. Let me look at your question here. Anything unique you found today that surprised you? It's been a tough show for unique. I like the Swanson WBF cards. That was kind of fun. That's not unique though, but I don't see it all the time, so I thought that was kind of cool. I'm just trying to think. I did see apparently there is like I think I mentioned it yesterday, but there are some show autographs that I guess Leaf made with some weird combinations. I got to see a few more. Apparently there's a John Daly. That was kind of cool. But a lot of it is sticker autos. That's how they're able to get away with it. He got stickers from different athletes, so that's kind of cool. Just trying to think if there's anything. I did see a couple of Venezuelan cards. So those are tough. Like I said, those are legitimately. I don't see them all the time. So I thought that was kind of neat. Seeing a Venezuelan cards is tricky. So that was definitely kind of fun and kind of interesting. Yep, honey, if I told you how amazing you look today, you're gonna have to butter them up. Absolutely, at that point. I went digging and found some great smalls. Took half an hour, but it was worth it. There you go. The Swanson WBF cards are pretty tough. I agree. Thank you, Bing Scott. Appreciate it. Sounds good. So if any last comments here, throw them in. We'll finish it off there. Haven't asked tonight, but I appreciate it. If any of you have been enjoying hanging out and chatting a little bit, hit the thumbs up. Always appreciate it. And it is free. Remains free. Eric has committed to continuing to sponsor the like button, so it is continually free for the viewers. Thank you, Eric, for your generous contribution.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. So
Cricket? I didn't see any. If I had seen one, it would have been very funny. I didn't see any cricket cards though. I didn't see any.
So I have something I want to add.
Okay. Let me read the last two here, and then you can add it.
Excellent.
Swanson makes it good. That's right. Did you buy anything from the meat guy? No. Apparently he was a no-show. We didn't see him. Unusual, a little odd. I will keep an eye. I have one more. Like I said, I have one more set of rounds to make tomorrow. I think I've passed almost every booth and looked at them a little bit. But I want to see. I actually want to see, and I might go back for those Swanson cards. I can't lie. I was kind of like, I kind of want to buy them. At least a couple from my favorites. I wouldn't mind getting a couple. I've decided to walk away. If it's meant to be, I'll come back and I'll go. I know where the booth is, so if it's meant to be, I may make it happen tomorrow. I may leave with those Swanson cards. So we'll have to see. So let me see here. If you like Eric, thumbs up. If you don't like Eric, hit the thumbs down. That's rough. That's rough. Yeah, how is that not the hot button issue of the Expo? No beat guy. Listen, I think we were all in shock. I don't think we were trying to get our heads around it. We're distressed. There are so many issues in this world, and no meat guy is like just compounding to already a stressful moment. So yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to accommodate and figure out how we're going to move forward from this. It's very traumatic. Right now, the counselors are working overtime. So we'll have to see. That's why I say I'll find out if this has put a damper on the trade night tonight. You never know. It might have. Like this might have put a dark cloud over the entire trade night. This could be crazy.
He may have the COVID. Maybe that's why he's not there.
He could. Here we go. Clusen Chara said they had a tough day. Interesting. All right. If you like Eric, buy back.
Oh, good Lord.
Brutal. They're really getting you to that one. The like button proudly brought to you by Poopy Pony. Yes. I like
He's
that.
He's around here somewhere.
Yep. Bob, if it has to do with Eric, not a thumb. It involves a certain finger. Look at that. Bats. The illusions these people make. My goodness.
Oh, here it is. We'll give everybody what they want.
Yep. And Poopy Pony makes a thing. Makes a visit at the tail end here.
There's Poopy Pony.
Love it. If you like your brain cells, don't buy a Beckett. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, there we go. Now Bob's back in my good graces.
There you go.
So I want to say something.
Go ahead.
That I want to publicly announce that I have taken back all negative things said by me towards Bobby Burrell, both to his face and behind his back.
Mostly behind his back.
Yes, but I take it all back.
Yes. I want to be clear though. There's a lot behind his back. It's the cowardice thing.
Oh no, it's very cowardice, and it's happens quite often.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very, very cowardly.
Yeah.
Bobby's kind of a thick, like, I don't want him mad at me, so I say it.
Oh, he's gonna sneak. He's gonna sneak up on you. Like you're not gonna see him coming, and all of a sudden he's right there.
Yeah, I talk bad about him, so because I don't want him to hurt me.
Yeah. Quickly, Aussie Card Dad, if you buy BGS, Eric is your best friend. Just so you know. And also, Bob, is Eric reading a statement written by someone else, written by Bobby Burrell, allegedly? Yeah. Move on.
Yes. He did me an unbelievable solid today. I have been collecting. I try not to drag this out too much. I've been collecting a certain set in the hobby for many, many years. My dad, who's no longer with me, picked it up at a yard sale for me because he knows I like hockey. Say, I saw this. Here you go. It's one of those kind of dads. That's how he showed his love, and he's just.
I like why you're reading the statement. Some of the comments that are being on the screen. Okay, I'm not even going to read them.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm just gonna leave it right where it is, and I'm not gonna say a damn thing.
So I've been collecting this set for 20 something years, and it started with my dad bringing home a handful of these things. So this set just means a lot to me. I have been missing one certain panel for many years, and it's the most expensive one and the hardest one to find. And Bobby found it at the expo, sent me a message and a picture, and grabbed it for me. And now I have the complete set of 1970 Eddie Sargent cards. This is in the foil, full panel, Bobby Orr. I have all the other panels in cellophane, in mint condition, except for this one. And the great Burrell,
Now the great bro, my goodness.
the great Burrell found this. He remembered that I've been looking for it for many years, and I am extremely grateful. The set means a lot to me personally and hobby wise. And when I'm finally got this in hand and can put it the whole set together, it's going to be a nice moment. So thank you very much, Bobby. I very much appreciate you remembering the importance of this and picking it up for me today in Canada.
Those are very moving words, and the comments that scrolled through while you were saying them were like, mwah, magnificent. Eric is running for county commissioner again, Bougie County.
And I would win.
2 raccoons in every dumpster.
I promise.
Hubbub, right, A. That's a campaign. That's a campaign promise we can all get behind.
Yep.
So once again, thank you all for joining us. Special Saturday into Sunday edition of the live stream, just, from the expo. So there you go. So sounds good. So I think we'll wind her down on that. It's been fun, but thank you all for kind of leaving some fun comments and of various types and various categories. But yeah, no, it's fun. The show's been a good time. It's kind of what we talked about leading into it. I figured it would be a lot of chatting with some folks, and it's been really good. And those of you who catch the videos leading into whatever, if you do see me on Sunday, feel free to say hi. Please also introduce yourself, because a lot of times I don't know who you are offhand. You're more than welcome to come by and say hello. Happy to shake your hand and chat with you for a bit. Tell me who you are, because it's super helpful. But some folks definitely did today, and it's been really good. It's been a lot of fun chatting with some folks, and happy to take a little time with it, because mostly for me, it's just walking around enjoying myself. I'm going to bring a little more cash on Sunday, maybe finish off some last minute deals. I'm going to record the pickup video tonight. I'm going to do that now, and I'll try to get that up on the channel. So that'll be, hopefully by the morning, it'll appear. And then I do have a little footage, and I'm going to try to put a little together a vlog that maybe will Sunday or Monday. So that'll be kind of an overall for the expo. Yep, Eddie Sargent cards. Man, my nice cup of joy is overfilled. Nice. Yep, absolutely. Thank you, Azzy Card Dad. Thank you, Name. Thank you, everybody else. We'll have to get Name to abandon his children so he can actually come on and participate properly.
Oh, don't get me started.
There you go. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. If you still got a little time left on it, Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll catch you in the next one.